Hey everybody, it's Judy Clock here at Stampin' with Craftsy Clock, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Middletown, Virginia. And today I want to come to you. This whole month I've kind of been sharing ideas on how to use your designer series paper, and today I got my pre-order in with the Open Sleigh online exclusive that will be available to customers starting in July, I believe on July 6th. We'll have to go check that. But it's this really pretty set. It's got this little open horse and sleigh stamp set with a couple of sentiments, some images, and it's also got the matching dies that will cut out the sleigh, I think the bunny rabbit, the trees, so some snowbanks. So there's a lot of dies. And I always forget to do this. Let me switch. There we go. Now you can see. So it's got these really great dies that go with the stamp set. But what I am most excited about is this beautiful designer series paper. You know, I love my designer series paper, and this designer series paper is absolutely exquisite. The One Horse Open Sleigh designer series paper has 12 designs, so you get 48 sheets. As usual, it's double-sided, but look at this. Isn't that pretty? Everyone is like a scene with then a solid or like just a patterned background. So look at the little fox. So this is just such beautiful designer series paper. Can you imagine using this and then stamping the sleigh and putting that on some of these? Look at this. Isn't that pretty? I forgot to show you the back of this one. So let me show you these and I'll tell you the colors that are in here. So pretty. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to use one whole piece of 6x6 paper to create a card so that you can see the entire scene. So when you have like what I call like scene DSPs, where it's not just a pattern, but it's like a whole scene. If you only use like a 4-inch slice, then you're losing, 2 inches of the scene. So this card that I'm going to show you uses the whole scene, and we're going to use this piece right here for our card. So let me tell you the colors that are in the designer series paper. There's basic black, boho blue, Cajun craze, cupcake, early espresso, lemon lolly, lost lagoon, misty moonlight, mossy meadow, old olive, pebbled path, pecan pie, petal pink, pool party, real red, and wild wheat. So there's some very non-traditional holiday colors in there, which is fine. You can use it for just a wintry scene. It doesn't have to be for a holiday. So look at this card. So this is, which one did I use? I used this scene. Okay, so we're going to use this scene builder. So you can see here, the first panel is just the like the trees with the lights on it. And if you'll notice, this strip over here was what I cut off on the bottom, because we're going to cut this down to 5 1/4. So that leaves us with a 3/4 of an inch strip that I then just use to decorate the side. Then we open it up, and there is the rest of our scene. So we've got that whole 6x6 scene, minus that little tiny bit that we chopped off at the bottom, that 3/4 of an inch. And we've got a lovely card that's got that whole scene. When you close it up, it's still pretty. And then when you open it, you've got that whole scene with a little piece of white over here in case you want to, write a little greeting to somebody. So let's go ahead and see. This one, I started this one. I haven't finished this one yet, but this was with that pretty fox. Okay, so this one's still a work in progress. But let's go ahead and let's work with this one. So what we're going to do is, excuse me, we're going to cut this down to 5 1/4. Okay, we're going to save this piece because we might want to use this piece somewhere else. It's still a good enough piece. So now we're going to cut this into 3 sections. We're going to cut it at 2 3/4. Okay, at 1 1/4. And then that should leave us with a piece that's 2 inches. So it's very important to cut it just like this, 2 3/4, 1 1/4, and then 2, because that's how we're going to open the card, and it's going to give us these 3 seams. All right, let's get this out. Now I have a piece of our early espresso cardstock. This is just a standard 8.5 by 5.5. I've scored it at 1.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. So we're going to fold the 4 1/4 inch fold like we normally do. And then we're going to fold this 1.5 inch piece. We're going to fold it back over the front. Okay. All right. So now we're going to take this piece and we're going to put it on that 1.5 inch strip. So we're just going to put some adhesive right there on that 1.5 inch strip. It might be almost out of seal. Okay. All right. So now we're going to make sure that we put this, have the edges even. Okay. And there we've got our first piece on there. Now we're going to open it up, and our second piece is going to go right here. Okay, we're going to, again, add some seal to this. And you can see this is going together very quickly. Okay. All right. And then our last piece is going to go right here. Now, I thought I had a piece of basic white cut, and I'll be darned if I know where I put it. So I'll have to cut a piece of basic white. Okay, I'm going to put that right there. All right. Did I have it? It's almost cut. It's right here. Okay, and I'm going to cut this last piece. I'm going to have a piece of basic white. I'm going to cut it at 1 7/8. I want it a little bit less than 2 because I want to make sure that it will hide behind that front piece. All right. So now we're going to take this and we're going to put this piece right up there. So this might be a good time to use your liquid glue so that you can make sure that you have some wiggle room, but I'm just going to go ahead and wing it. Now that will close right behind our front piece. Now I could go ahead and add this here if I wanted to for a little bit of pop of color. I don't know what I want to do there yet. So I think I'm just going to leave that blank for now. But we had, the set also came with these. Oh, let me see if I can get them. These really pretty adhesive back snowflakes. So this is also part of the Open Sleigh suite of products. So these are gold, copper, and white. So maybe what we'll do is, maybe I will put that strip there. Let's cut this down to 5 1/2. We'll make it just as long as our card is. Let's go ahead and try that and see. Let's see. I also had the other piece. So let's say if we put that there, okay, because that'll tie into the sort of the little bit of red on the house. And we're just going to go ahead and put that right here. So we're really not wasting any of that 6 by 6 inch piece of paper. And then we can take some snowflakes. I'm going to make sure that I take my bone folder. You know, I'm trying to clean up my studio because I've got classes on Saturday. So I've been diligently working on cleaning it, and it's getting there. But I put everything away, and now I can't find stuff. Isn't that always the way? So let's go. So you've got 2 different sizes. You've got, you've got 3 different sizes. You've got a large, a medium, and a small. So let's try, oh, I don't know. What do you think? the white, the gold. Let's try the white on the red and that. Let's just put some snowflakes there and see what we think. Maybe one more little one. And then the last thing we want to do is we want to add a sentiment. So we're going to stamp wishing you a season of cheer. We're going to stamp this in our early espresso. We're going to match the color of our card base. And where is my, here it is. I like to use my Stampin' Pierce mat when I'm using the photopolymers. It just gives me a little bit extra wiggle room. Now that's a little bit wider than I wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim this down. Okay, I'm going to trim it down to about 1 inch, I think. I think 1 inch will be a good, I think that's good. All right, now I'm going to do something. I'm going to flag the ends, but I'm going to flag them on different slants. Okay. There we go. So now we've got our little sentiment. Let me close this up. Let me get some dimensionals. And I'm only going to put some dimensionals sort of on this side because part of my sentiment will hang over, and put one more on season, will hang over that fold, and I don't want it to get stuck to the other side. So there we go. So now we've got our complete card. We've got wishing you a season of cheer. You open it up, you have the whole scene from that 6 by 6 inch piece of paper. You still got a little bit of white to write your note, but you've got kind of a fun fold with a little surprise on the inside. So that's it for this little edition of Lesson at Lunch. I hope you like this fun fold. I hope you'll give it a try. I will put the measurements in my blog post. That will probably be up by Wednesday morning. That's it for me. Have a great day, everybody. I'll talk to you on Thursday when I do my live demo at 7:30.